would you please state your name, artist moniker, or both for the interview?
What's my artist moniker?
I don't know if you have one.
Like Johnny Zero?
Yeah, if that were... Is that an artist moniker of someone else?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not mine.
Right.
So my name is Merrill Sherman. I do not have an artist moniker.
Did you ever want to... Do you want to, or did you ever want to have an artist moniker? Stage name.
A stage name.
Basically.
I never thought of a good one, I guess. You know? Like, I never had a band that yielded a good last name as an artist moniker.
You also have a really good name.
Oh, yeah, to begin with.
Yeah.
It's an unusual name. People remember it.
Yeah. But you've got, Sherman. That's like a famous name.
Okay, yeah.
There were famous people named Sherman.
Yeah. I can think of one who's not popular in the South.
There's one famous Sherman.
Yeah.
Is he popular in the North? I think he's unpopular.
I don't know. Especially not when we're enslaved by the aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I hope doesn't happen.
Are you saying you're an alien who's going to enslave us?
No. I'm not an alien. I was born here, damn it.
It's really believable. Okay. So
yeah, we got through the my name part.
Yeah.
My name is Merrill Sherman.
Sherman.
Yes.
Thank you for doing this interview.
You're welcome.
So, I'm going to check the camera periodically for this. Can you tell me where you were born and where you grew up?
I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, about an hour and a half south of Birmingham.
So what's the reason?
I lived in Anniston briefly too.
Anniston, and that was when you were growing up.
As an infant.
Infant. Okay. And so, what was the reason for moving from one place to another?
Just my parents' employment.
Yeah. And then, so the formative years, I guess, the ones you remember the most, where were those?
In Montgomery.
In Montgomery.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think where you grew up? So this is kind of a two-part question. One is, do you think you approach, in your case, music and songwriting, or art, because you're an artist as well, do you think you approach it similarly to the other people around you, or differently? And do you think where you grew up had an impact on that?
Possibly. I mean, just like country music was around, ever present when I was a kid, and my parents had really good taste in music. A lot of it was country music, but also pop music and rock and roll. So yeah, that was an influence on me. Growing up in Montgomery, there were a lot of eccentric people. I've always felt like that the South is very sort of accepting of eccentric people, and so there were a lot of those kind of folks around, and I appreciated them and learned things from them.
So you think the South is more open to eccentric folk?
I don't know. I mean, I know that I think it has a history of sort of promoting eccentric people. Like your folks like Truman Capote or something, or some of the other writers. So I think those people were able to get by and be in the open with their sort of artistic views and things.
So do you feel a difference from in between that environment in New York as you can remember it?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I've definitely met very eccentric people here. New York seems to attract eccentric people from everywhere.
True.
Yeah.
True, it does.
Yeah.
Although New York may be different than. I guess when you're like the South, you're thinking maybe South North.
Yeah.
New York is definitely a unique place.
Sure. Yeah.
I would say, and also maybe it is constricting in certain ways. You can
Definitely,
be
like financially and restrictions on space because of that. But it's got a lot to offer too. There's plenty of performance spaces and plenty of restaurants, and you can find books and things that you need here.
Yeah, you have a lot of books behind you.
Yes. only like half of them are mine.
Okay, well that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah. I assume these aren't all your books. You have other books.
Yeah. There's more upstairs.
And then some books you had, and then you got rid of, so that those are almost like
we clear out books periodically.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Do you read a lot?
Yeah, I read all the time.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that's important to, basically, is that important to being an artist, or is that also just...
I think it's important to being a human being. I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I get sometimes bored with movies and television, and
right.
Theater is more expensive than television or books, I guess.
Yeah.
So I gravitate toward books.
Cool.
Somewhat introverted, so I like to read.
Cool.
Gives me peace.
Yeah. I like reading too.
Yeah.
I don't do enough of it.
Yeah. I started.
Yep.
I mean, this is not for consumption, but just between you and me. Since I got that Libby app on the phone, where you can get books in the library. Yeah. That's great. So it just keeps me stocked in books all the time.
And they deliver it or something? Or
it just comes to your phone.
Oh, you look at it on your phone?
Yeah, it's a digital book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like reading for me. Some of it is just not looking at my phone. It's like is like what I like about it too. And looking at the page. I don't know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I like flipping back. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The phone for me is like this weird thing. It like kind of like brings my whole mind into this like little space.
Yeah.
I find it like kind of claustrophobic. And then there's so many things that you can do, and that it also like every time I open it, like we kind of have this blank moment. So I don't interact well with the phone. But anyway, here I am doing my interview questions on it. Yeah. Okay, so we got through that question, although I think I have to reformulate that because it's like too broad. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. So imagine you were at a birthday party for a friend. Okay. And another friend comes over with their new romantic partner. Okay. Who you haven't met. All right. And they ask you, what do you do? How do you respond?
I work at a nonprofit.
Okay. Yeah. And then they press you a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, what nonprofit?
I don't want to talk about work. That's what I say.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
They get offended. No, I'm not gonna role play this too much. So you generally, like, if people ask you what you do, you basically divert the question.
A lot of times with strangers.
With strangers,
yeah.
Even if they're connected with people that you know.
With other people, yeah, probably. Like a lot of times, nobody wants to talk about work, do they?
I don't know. Yeah. Some people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a business card.
Well, that's.
Do you have a business card?
I don't.
Oh. Well, we won't be exchanging them.
Yeah. Okay. Do you ever talk with people you meet about, making music or making art?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I talk about making music and making art.
And so, what would be that like context when someone would be like, "Hey, what do you do?" And you would say, "I'm
a guitar player."
Yeah. Okay.
Not a mediocre one.
Okay.
But an okay one.
All right.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know all the chords, but,
Some of them.
I know some of them, yeah. I know some important ones.
That's important.
I know they're important because they're called major chords.
Yeah.
Minor chords are less important.
We don't like those as much.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So you went to art school, is that correct?
Yeah.
And where was that?
University of Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you study?
Art. Well, I started out studying history, but
Uh-huh.
then I switched to art halfway through.
Why'd you switch?
I read somewhere that the number one occupation of the history major is waiter, and I didn't want to do that anymore because I was already waiting tables.
Uh-huh. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I figured art would be a lot more lucrative.
Did you come out with like any type of specific degree, or was it?
No, it's just a general BA in art.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I mostly wanted to get out of school, but
Yeah.
I'd had enough of it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Same for me. And did you pursue any higher degrees?
No higher degrees.
And now you are actually working as an artist. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a commercial artist. Yeah.
As a commercial
Yeah.
artist. Do you
Graphic designer.
Graphic designer.
Uh-huh.
And so were you mainly focused in school on visual art?
Yes, mainly in visual art.
What was your
Like drawing,
Uh-huh.
printmaking?
Okay.
I mean, I took painting classes, but
Yeah.
I wasn't particularly good at painting, I don't think.
Which of those did you enjoy the most?
I really liked printmaking a lot. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I do printmaking now, but
Do you ever paint or draw anymore?
I draw sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. I draw at work, like a little sketch, and stuff.
Right.
Things I'm doing and
Like planning things out.
Yeah. And then I have like a tablet. I like to draw in that. I really like to be able to undo what I draw.
Yeah. Do you find like pleasure in drawing?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
And I do that with the family and stuff.
Cool.
Play games, draw.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time I've been drawing recently is when I do the credit card thing and ask for my signature, and I just draw a little design on their
nice
thing.
Is it always the same design?
No.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out they're not checking.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want on those little
Yeah, I know.
things. Yeah.
I think it's good to know that I can forge your signature someday.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see.
I was considered an artistic signifier.
The signature.
Yes.
Yeah. Artistic signature.
Nobody can copy that.
Right.
It wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be.
No.
And my scribbles are unique too then.
Certainly, yeah.
Okay. So you're going to have trouble forging my
Oh,
signature.
yeah, I'd have a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah, the machines won't know yet.
I've seen your handwriting. I would have a lot of trouble.
The aliens
Uh-huh.
will know that you won't fool the aliens.
Possibly. What kind of aliens are we talking about?
Sophisticated ones.
Okay. Like from Barbados?
I mean, is Barbados a constellation?
Yes.
Then yes.
Cassiopeia.
Barbados. Yeah.
Orion.
Yeah.
Lenny.
Uranus.
That's a planet.
They can still have aliens.
It's
So you're a guitar player, and how long have you been playing guitar?
Oh, a long time. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, 30-ish years maybe.
Wow.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Since I started a long time ago. I guess I probably got serious in about 92.
Mm-hmm.
I had guitars before that, but I never bothered to learn any chords or anything. I just would like pick out bass lines on them and stuff. But that was when I bought a Mel Bay chord book and learned how to play.
And were you playing in a band at that time, or just by yourself?
Yeah, I started out. I played briefly in a band. Played bass in a band with some friends.
Uh-huh.
They approached me about playing because I've been enthusiastic at one of their punk rock shows, and they offered me the position of bass player because they didn't have one. And I explained that I didn't know how to play bass and I didn't own one.
Yeah.
And they said, "That's all right. We can teach you, and we have a bass."
Did they teach you?
They did. They did talk.
Cool.
They taught me.
Cool.
They taught me how to play "I Want to Be Your Dog" of the Stooges.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember learning that. I learned Roadrunner, Jonathan Richman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Modern Lovers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's the When was the first band you played guitar in?
That was my band Godzookie.
Uh-huh.
And my good friend Tom Ellington, I'd been telling him how I was going to get a bass because I wanted to play bass in a band. And he got a bass. He went out and bought a bass before me.
Yeah.
So, that bastard.
Yeah.
So then I had to play guitar because, you didn't want two basses in a band.
Yeah. Apparently not, but it would be kind of cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's that band Dose with Mike Watt and Kira.
Uh-huh.
But
and they do two basses?
They do two basses, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But that wasn't the kind of music I wanted to play.
Right.
Yeah.
But initially you were like, I like bass more than guitars.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
Because it seemed easier.
Oh, okay.
Because I was a little lazy as a kid. And then, I don't know, at that time, I guess, being a punk rock kid, like it seemed like bass was really cool for some reason.
It is cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
But you switched to guitar because that bastard.
Yeah, that bastard.
Bought the bass first.
He got the bass first.
So you had to get a guitar.
Uh-huh.
And you got one.
I got one, yeah.
Nice.
I got a Lotus Strat style guitar.
I don't know that brand. But
Yeah, it's an Asian brand.
Okay. Pretty good?
No, it was garbage. I think it was red with a black pick guard. It was a terrible guitar. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Did it help? Do you think it's good to learn on bad instruments? Some people say that.
I don't know. I think most people start out on bad instruments. Yeah.
But
so it's kind of hard to make a scientific deduction about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Some people say it makes you work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And that pays off.
It definitely makes you work harder, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you write songs for that band?
I did, yeah. I wrote all the songs, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Once again, just, the same reason I started singing in bands, just nobody else wanted to do it.
And that's why you started songwriting?
That's right, yeah. Although, I guess I started songwriting before I actually played guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I had an interest in it.
And how would you write songs before guitar playing?
I would come up with music. I would just take a guitar and just play something that I thought sounded cool.
Mm-hmm. And then sing or talk over it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay. And so then you're a songwriter as well?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
By default, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just sort of happened.
And so what other notable bands were you in?
Notable?
Yeah, in your own life, not
Yeah,
notable,
I mean...
But like for you, what was important? You were in this first band, what was your name?
Godzookie.
Godzookie, yeah. And so...
That band that was a lot of fun, that band.
Cool.
Yeah, they were very important to me.
Yeah, and so what was the instrumentation of Godzookie?
It was a 3-piece with drums and bass and guitar.
Yeah,
and yeah. It was very experimental for me at the time. I learned a lot, I guess, playing in that band and playing my first shows out of town and playing in clubs for the first time. But I would stack a couple overdrive pedals and make a lot of noise. I had a one-channel amplifier that was loud, but it didn't have any onboard effects. But I would just crank it up all the way, and that gave me the tone that I wanted. So we played like really incredibly loud. And some people were receptive to that.
Yeah,
and some people weren't.
That's cool.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Someone's at the front door.
Let me get that.
Whoa. All right. Well, let's see. We're at we're talking about Godzookie.
Oh yeah. Godzookie, incredibly loud. Oh man. I mean, that was the most songs I wrote up to that point. So
right.
So it's very very experimental for me. Like different types of songs and stuff.
So it was very experimental, and you mean by that expanding, like how you thought about music, or
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just trying to learn about writing songs and learning about the parts of songs, and I was very new to it.
So how did you approach that? Like, how did you Like, what did you kind of like to come up with? What, like, did you find yourself drawn to?
At the time, I was really into like the Jesus Mary Chain and Pussy Galore. I really liked loud and noisy things, lots of feedback. I was really into Velvet Underground. So it was. I mean, I was told, looking back on it, and then from what people told me at the time, it was very sort of bass driven. The guitar was just sort of noisy and ambient and loud.
Right.
So maybe that gives you some sort of idea of what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like a lot of those recordings are gone now because we just didn't keep up with them very well.
Dang.
I have like some third-hand copies of them. But,
Wow. Yeah. So, and what was the subject matter of the songs?
Oh, girls and beer.
Okay.
I think we had like 4 or 5 songs about beer.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was an important thing in my life at that time.
Is it important now?
Beer? It's less important, but I still imbibe every once in a while. Yeah.
So moving on from that band, what's the next kind of band that comes to mind that you played in?
Then it was a long period of me just recording at home on 4-track because I just didn't find the right folks to play with, I guess.
Would you ever play out at that time, or were you all just...
No, I played once, I think, like a sort of one-off thing, but aside from that, I spent like a very long... And then I moved from Alabama to Chicago, and then shortly after that moved to New York, so...
Did you play in bands in Chicago?
No. I played with people in Chicago, just not in band. People who played in bands, like, at our houses and stuff. We would get together and play.
And just play?
Yeah.
Jam?
Yeah, jam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what the kids call it.
Yeah.
And we recorded some of those jams.
Nice.
Yeah. But that was the extent of it. And then I get here and, ran into some folks from Alabama and started playing again once I was settled in New York. And, played music with them, met JB, and she joined the band soon after I did.
What was that band?
That band, I don't think it didn't really have a name when I was in it, but then it developed into something called Mobile Wash Unit.
Mm-hmm.
That was just basically this one songwriter guy, Andy. And then from that, JB and I, after we left that band, we started a band called Eliza Battle, which is based on a ghost story from Alabama.
Cool.
But then we had to change the name because everybody kept asking us how to spell it.
Mm.
And so then we became Living Kills and put out 2 albums.
Cool.
Yeah.
How many years was that project?
Living Kills? Gosh. It was probably like maybe about 5 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Nice little run.
Yeah. And what Mobile Wash Unit, are they still around?
No, I don't think so. I think Andy might play music still sometimes, but I haven't really kept up with him. So I see him occasionally, like every couple of years or so. Yeah.
Does he live in New York?
Yeah, but he's a different neighborhood.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess what we didn't, the 2-part question from earlier, what we didn't get to is like, do you feel like your approach to, let's say, songwriting and guitar playing is similar or different than the folks around you in the, I don't know, whatever New York scene? I guess it's not really. I don't feel like there's a.
Yeah, I don't think there is
strict scene,
or at least I mean, there was a moment when I felt like there was a garage scene in New York, and I was playing in it, and knew people who were booking a lot of shows and stuff. But,
right.
I don't feel like I'm in any part of the scene now.
Yeah. Neither. I guess I mean, we
have our friends that we play with and stuff.
Yeah, we play with friends.
Friends that practice with us. And,
and we play shows.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. We're not very motivated about playing shows.
Yeah.
But we have a good time playing together.
Absolutely, yeah. But anyway, to get back to, do you think?
Hold on, let me break up this fight here.
Yeah, you
Sorry
got
about
it.
that.
I'm gonna check, make sure, because that battery once it starts.
You farted, girl.
Oh, Lucy's
Exit, did you
farting.
let Lucy out?
Yeah.
Why did you?
Similarly or differently, how do you see yourself kind of fitting in? I guess.
Oh, I have no idea how to fit
Uh-huh.
it. I mean, I'm kind of a lazy songwriter. I just write when I feel like something's needed now, and I usually do it pretty quickly, and then I'll revise and revise and revise. I don't do it as much as I used to, where I used to rewrite songs. I've told you this before, but I used to, would have it finished and then rewrite it a few months later, and then a few months later rewrite it again.
Yeah, I don't think it's kind of weird. Yeah, I have the similar. I think like, I finished a song, I'm like, should I change it now? And then it's like, well, what's wrong? Why shouldn't I change it? Like why?
Yeah, there's nothing keeping you from changing.
Yeah, it's like
other than other people have to learn it.
Right. Yeah. Practical difficulties.
Yeah.
So, can you name a few artists whose work you like?
Visual artists or musical artists?
I guess musical art, both. Let's do both.
Okay.
And because you started out by saying those bands that you liked when you first played.
Sure, yeah.
So what about now?
I mean, I still love both of those bands now. Jesus Mary Chain, Pussy Galore.
Cool.
I really love Royal Trucks.
Okay.
And always have since I first saw them. I like a lot of country artists. Oh wow.
Hey, Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucy, don't bark at me, please.
Yeah.
Here, we'll pet you a little bit.
Let's see. I like Sarah Shook, who's a contemporary artist. She's great.
Oh, stop it.
Let's see, what else do I like? I like Charlie Pride a lot.
Cool.
I like a lot of pedal steel players, like
Right.
Red Rhodes, one of my favorites, and Lloyd Green.
When did you start playing pedal steel?
I started playing about 10 years ago, and should be a lot better than I am.
Why'd you want to play the pedal steel?
Oh, it's just a midlife crisis.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how you expressed it. You
Yeah,
didn't get the
my midlife crisis
Yeah, yeah.
instrument. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. I've always liked it, and it's a beautiful instrument. It's
Amazing.
very versatile, especially it's also great because like the one thing I hate about guitar is having to twist my fingers into little knots, and that's not really an issue with that instrument. So.
What? So for let's talk about the Living Kills. Was that your like main other songwriting kind of project?
Yeah, definitely. And that was the band where I did the majority of the recording that I've done. And that was fun. It was a great band.
Cool.
We did all right.
Nice.
We played some good shows.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you approach those songs?
How did in that band?
Yeah.
I really wanted to sound like a mix of. I'm gonna see if she'll. Hey, Axel, can you go put her in the cage? Well, I'll start over, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry. So with the Living Kills, I guess my inspiration was I wanted to sound like a mix of the 60s band The Calico Wall that was sort of a one-hit wonder that did the song I'm a Living Sickness. And a mix between that and this like 70s Canadian band called Simply Saucer that was sort of a mix of punk and Pink Floyd. So that was my inspiration. We started out using a drum machine and evolved to being a full band.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you were going for... Now, what did those groups have that you liked or you were trying to combine? Was it... was it a certain sound or...
For me. It was a mix of the '60s psychedelia and punk rock, and later as well. I was inspired by late '80s goth, well, mid to late '80s goth, like Sisters of Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of reverb, a lot of organ. Later, some analog synth.
Is there what's most important for you in the band?
Uh-huh.
Either what holds the band together, what's the purpose
Uh-huh.
for the for what holds the band together, or what's the purpose for the band?
I just like playing with you, Stephen.
Well, that flattery will get you everywhere.
Yeah.
But
no, it's. I mean, you're very easygoing, and I like to think of myself as pretty eeasygoing, and
right. But
I just enjoy hanging out and playing music with people who, are about on the same level musically as me, and
cool.
and have similar interests, and then also people who love country music.
Yeah. You didn't talk about the visual artists you like.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I mean, I like Picasso. I like Egon Schnell. I like. Let's see. I don't know. Cindy Sherman. I like. There's lots of artists I like.
Cool. Yeah.
I don't know. Put me on the spot. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what it's hot. You're in the hot seat.
Yeah. I like Barbara Kruger. I like. Who else do I like?
Do you think there's a connection between a visual art creation and music creation?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, like musical arts are performing arts. It's a visual thing as well as an auditory thing.
Mm-hmm.
People respond to what they're seeing on stage, not just what they're hearing. I mean, otherwise, we elevate like people who were really, I guess, more so creative, like auditory artists rather than visual artists. Whereas sort of elevate a mix of the two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A good stage show goes a long way for making you remember a band and having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Not that not that we're necessarily performers. I don't know. We're just having a good time and making music that we like.
Sure.
And I think we're all sort of not expecting to get rich doing it.
But
we all enjoy playing.
True. So, do you enjoy seeing live music?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I saw some last night.
Great. Who'd you see last night?
I saw the Sadies. God, the Sadies are incredible. They did an incredible cover of Jerry's Breakdown, Jerry Reed song on acoustic guitar with the drums and bass behind him.
Cool.
I don't know if you could absolutely say it was acoustic, but he was definitely playing an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acoustic.
Yeah.
You came away with an impression of it being acoustic.
Yeah.
I would say that's valid enough.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was billed as.
Yeah. As far as we can trust your perceptions,
which I think we all know that everybody's perceptions are flawed. Yeah.
Especially yours.
Yeah.
Because of all the nose candy.
Nose candy. I had no nose candy.
Oh, okay. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I guess. So, what do you think live music is especially important, and why?
I think it's important because I enjoy it, and you got to do something on the weekends.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think
it can't just all be like expensive dinners?
True.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go to expensive shows.
Yeah.
Or cheap shows.
Or cheap shows. Yeah. This was a reasonably priced show. I thought it was a fair price.
What can I ask the price?
I think it was $25.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a fair price for
a fair price.
a big name traveling band.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially one that can play guitar like that.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Hot damn.
That guy's fingers are hot.
So it's important because do you feel like it's at all overshadowed by recorded music right now? Do you think that's an issue?
No, I don't. They've been recorded music and live music have been working together for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly live music's got an older tradition, but there's something to be said for making something exactly like what you want it to sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you can't always do live.
No, not at all. Do you think there's a difference between live music and recorded music in terms of overall experience or intent?
Oh, possibly. I don't know. I mean, certainly. Well, who knows? Who knows?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was going to say that people want to perform, I guess, when they're live. Want to show off, but I don't know if I care about showing off.
Okay,
I just like to play and make a good sound and
right.
hopefully make people think that I know what I'm doing.
So you think actually live music inspires people to show off. So maybe in fact, in a way, recorded music is free of that.
Possibly.
Or let more free. Or something.
Yeah. I mean, recorded music has the ability to. I mean, it slows things down, and you don't get nervous or
mm-hmm.
you don't move around and bump things as much. So.
Mm-hmm.
So you can focus on making everything perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to like things that sound more amateurish, so
right.
But you can do that with recording as well.
Yeah, yeah, and there's something to be said, I think, for live sound being what it is, exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just vibrations.
Yeah, just vibrations that you can't control like
mm-hmm.
you can a recording.
Yeah,
and it and that is its own thing. It's like very interesting.
It's truth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read about string theory, but everything is just like vibrating strings. So
yeah.
So we're just making more vibrations.
Yeah, vibrating the vibrating strings.
Yeah.
All right, I guess this is the last question.
Okay.
I asked this to other people.
It's not about pizza, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
It's the second to last question.
Is
What's
it really
your
about
favorite?
pizza?
Now I'm asking a question about pizza. What's your favorite slice of pizza?
Oh gosh, I like pizza with tomato sauce and cheese. And other stuff on it. I really like that Hawaiian pizza with the pineapple and jalapenos and the ham.
Yeah.
The jalapenos are important, I think.
Yeah.
But I haven't had one of those in years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of pizza are you going to get tonight?
I don't know. I don't know what they're serving.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really whatever they serve.
The reason I said just talking to me about pizza because there was a stretch where like every interview I did with The Living Kills, somebody asked us a question about pizza.
Oh, okay. That's because you guys are from New York.
Yeah, I guess it's a New York thing. Yeah. I don't feel strongly about pizza.
All right, two quick questions. One's a quick one, maybe, and the other one's I don't know. What do you have any goals and projects for the future?
Like musical projects?
Yeah, anything really.
No, I don't have any goals.
Okay, cool. Good job.
Thank you. I want to get better at guitar. That's all. Yeah. I see people like the Sadies last night, and I think, wow, I got a long way to go.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
Not,
obviously, I haven't practiced enough.
Yeah. But hey, we got to go on tour, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a lot of practice. Is there a point to making art?
No, that's why it's art.
And
If it had like a purpose, then it wouldn't be art.
right, if it had a purpose,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be art.
Yeah.
And because it has no purpose,
Uh-huh.
it has no point.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what makes it art.
Hey, that's a fine answer. I don't actually care how you answer these questions
Yeah.
because
I mean,
I'm not
other
in the
than,
hot seat.
at least for me, it makes life worth living. You know,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, life is kind of pointless. So
So art
yeah, art can be pointless.
can be pointless.
It's reflective of our lives.
Uh-huh. So art reflects our lives.
Yes. But that's not its point because it doesn't have a point.
Right, because life doesn't have a point, so art doesn't because it reflects our pointless lives.
Yes.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to make.